You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship.
You know what time it is. On brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arms to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And do we have a special guest for you tonight? Mr. Felix Ojo, 5-star tackle in the 2026 class. Felix, how you doing tonight, brother?
No, I'm doing good.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on here, man. Like I was saying before we came on, I know that we're huge Ohio State fans, but we're also just fans of recruiting just in general. So if we watch a player's film, which we do, and we like their film, we'll follow that person's recruitment, and wherever they go to school, we'll keep watching them. I love football, man, and diving into it. So glad to have you on, man.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
Well, Buckeye Nation, thank you so much for showing up in the chat, dude. Go ahead and hit that like button right now. Get in the chat. Share this on Twitter and X, Facebook, the whole 9 yards. We appreciate y'all's support. If you guys got a question for Felix, put it in the super chat. Get it up here. We'll ask it for him. We'll ask him the question for you. But I'll just start off, man, and dive into it, dude. Felix, obviously big-time football player, man. I know you play some basketball as well, but who in your family do you have that plays sports as well? Are you the only guy playing sports? You got some siblings that play sports? Did your dad or any of your parents get into sports? Just tell us a little bit about your family, man.
Both of my parents didn't play sports growing up. They watched a lot of soccer and football, but they never actually got into sports. And then I have two older brothers. One plays at U of H. He's a redshirt freshman. He plays outside linebacker and D. And I have another brother. He's a redshirt junior. Yeah, he plays outside linebacker DN too.
Oh, heck yeah, man. That's pretty cool. So you got some football players in the family for sure.
Yes, sir.
So when you're not playing football, man, when you're not playing sports, like growing up, are you a gamer? Are you an outdoor kind of guy? Like, what's some activities you like doing besides football and besides sports?
Besides football and besides sports, really, I'm just on the game, playing NCAA, Madden, 2K. And then, if I'm not on the game, I'm either asleep or just outside, hanging out with some friends.
Nice, man. I like it. So, if I were to ask you this question before your recruitment started, give us your favorite NFL team and your favorite college team.
I'll say my favorite NFL team, probably the Cowboys, born and raised in Dallas. So, the Cowboys is just obvious choice. And I'll say favorite college football team, probably Oregon, because I did grow up watching Penei Sewell, and I like a lot of his game.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
cool.
We over here don't care for the Ducks that much. We like the roasting.
Yeah.
Me and Dad went to the Rose Bowl. It was the most amazing experience.
Now, yeah, as much as we don't like them, we do understand that Oregon is a very appealing place to go to, man. I went there to watch the game. It's a beautiful place, that's for sure. But Ohio's Columbus is way more beautiful, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, so give us a little bit of a rundown, man. When did you start playing football? What positions have you played in football? And when did you really start to fall in love with the sport of football?
I've started playing football in 7th grade. I started off playing DN outside linebacker, O-line. I've always been a bigger kid, but I really started falling in love with the sport around my 8th grade season, when we won all of our games. That team right there, right there on that team in my 8th grade year, we probably have 5 D1 players, highly rated D1 players to come out.
Dang.
It was me, Racing Guillory, Cohen Brown, Chance Collins. You can search them all up. They all have big Power 5 offers. Ray just reclassed to 2025. He's gonna be in Utah next year, and
dang.
All of them, that's when I really fell in love with the sport. And then like I'll say one day I figured I was gonna be like a big time player, or I'll say that was like really like when I became a starter on as my sophomore year to high school. Because before then, I never thought I was really gonna get recruited to get like high major D1 offers to be in this position I am right now. But like after that season where I just bought up against like some of the top guys like Colin Simmons, Elijah Barnes, KJ Ford, like all those players, like that was my like multiple 5-stars back to back every single week. That like really helped develop my game for me to be in this position.
Yeah. Texas is definitely known for some pretty good high school football. So I can imagine you're playing football around that area, even in the 8th grade. What you just described to us is you surround yourself with some pretty darn good football players. It's only going to make you better, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the big things. And I know I'm about to talk about Ohio State, but it's just the team I know the most about. But that's what they talk about why Ohio State is always really good, man, because even second and third string players are always going against, you're going against the first teams in practice. And this is the same with every, college football team. If they recruit good, man, even if you're a second or third string player, man, you're going to, get developed just because you're going up against way better competition. So, I love hearing that, man. I can only imagine that has just helped boost you in your career. Now, when was it, man, when you started playing offensive line? What made that decision happen? Was it somebody in your life that said, hey, man, you should try this out? Was it you personally? How'd that happen?
If I'm going to keep it real, like, not a lot of people know this, but, like, both of my older brothers, I decided to play defensive end because of them, right? But going to my sophomore spring ball, actually, going to my freshman year of spring ball, I was trying to play D-line, and our offensive line coach, actually, he forced me to play O-line. So that's like the real reason I started playing O-line. And ever since then, I've been balling out since then. But like at heart, I wanted to be a D-line. But like now, I just grew into love like offensive line, offensive tackle, and just like I've been balling out since then.
Gotcha. So are you? So I would guess, with being as highly rated as you are and as good as you are on the field, that you put a lot of work in off the field. Can you kind of describe just briefly like what a day looks like for you in terms of preparing yourself to play at the higher level? Are you watching your meals? Do you train twice a day, once a day? What does it look like for you right now?
Like right now, I say right now in the off season, it's like I wake up, like say a daily prayer, take a shower, then head to school. After I head to school, I have football. We have like the way it works in Texas, we have football during the day, like in school, like during the period, I have football. And then after that, after school, I have basketball. And then after basketball practice, I go straight to training. From training, I do just like strength workouts, agility workouts, speed, all of that. And then after training, I get a quick meal. After that, I go to sleep and rinse and repeat every single day. But I say in season, it's a lot more. In season after football practice, I have training. And then I do a workout in the morning before practice too.
Yeah, gotcha. Let everybody know what your height and weight is right now. When you told me your height, I was pretty amazed. But what you coming in at right now?
I'm 6'7", 280 right now.
6'7", 280 pounds, 16 years old currently?
Yes, sir.
Okay, pretty big dude. I loved hearing you say you got a daily prayer in there. Here on the Buckeye Boys, we're big on our faith. And, of course, the Ohio State team was as well. And several other college teams. I think that's such a beautiful thing to see coming back into college, younger kids like yourself and other guys really leading the charge in this faith thing that I see coming. It's exciting. It's really cool to see, man.
No, I agree because, like, especially with like football itself, it's just that, like, a lot of the things that, like, you get from football, like, comes in tie with faith. And I believe that, like, a lot of players, including myself, like, you wouldn't be in a position without, like, God. And I, like, truly believe that.
Amen, dude. That is, to be 16 years old and to like have that kind of maturity and wisdom goes a long way, man. When I was 16 years old, I was not even anywhere close to that. And I think I'm 35 now. I'm 34, 35, something like that. I just realized that about 5 years ago, man, that God has given me everything, man. And if you actually are walking that faith walk out, it's a very hard thing to do. So when you speak about relating to football, to get on the starting offensive line in football takes a lot of work. It's a lot of pain and a lot of uncomfortability that you got to push through. But the reward at the end of that hard work and of walking that faith out, the reward that you get at the end is totally worth it, man. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, it's awesome to hear you say that, bro. So I'm not sure where my co-host went. Mello disappeared. I'm not sure where he went, so I'll continue with my questions. But you got any athletes that you really looked up to when you were growing up, and then now that you've switched to offensive line, any offensive tackles that you really like to mimic your game after, or you would like to look like if you get in the NFL? When you get in the NFL?
I'll say, like, growing up, like I said previously, Penei Sewell, I watched him a lot. Micah Parsons, I grown up like DN, goes to the Cowboys. I watched him a lot. And I also just like right now, like currently, like I say my most favorite O lineman to watch is Trent Williams, and that's like really how I try to emulate my game after is Trent Williams. But not everyone can be like him. He's like a generational talent, once in a lifetime. But I say him and Penei Sewell are like my two favorites.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome to hear, man. So obviously, being 16 years old, actually, before I get into this, man, I want you, dude, what's going on right now, man? Basketball season. Let the chat know, dude, because I think that's exciting. I love basketball, man, and to hear where you and your team are in basketball. Let the chat know, dude, what's going on with your basketball team right now?
Now, right now in basketball season, we're undefeated in district. We went 11-0, 32-2 in state of Texas, in the hardest district in the state of Texas. And then we're second best team in Texas, 24 nationally ranked in Texas and in the United States. So dang, it's a pretty good accomplishment, and we're projected to win it all, win state. So it's a pretty good accomplishment where we are in our basketball.
Yeah, I would say so, dude. That's pretty big timing, man. Yo, Sean Rollins, appreciate the heck out of you, man. Trying to pull this up here. Appreciate the $20, Sean. If you got a question, throw it in the chat there, and I'll ask Felix. Everybody in the chat, of course, everybody in our chat, Felix, they love the Buckeyes, so they're really wanting me to ask you about your thoughts on the Buckeyes. We're going to get there. Don't worry. I'm going to ask them about Tyler Bowen, the whole 9 yards. We will get there. We've got to work ourselves up to it. Mello, you got any questions right now? I was just asking about, who his, mentors and who he looked up to as a player. And I just asked about basketball, and I was going to dive into what a college is going to look like for him. But you got any questions?
Yeah. So I need you to do me a favor. I need you to rank these high school states in order from the best to the worst.
Okay.
Georgia, Texas, Florida, Cali.
Okay, so I'll put Texas at number one. I feel like just Texas, we just the best state. Like football, like you look at development wise, like Texas, most Texas players are like college ready than like any other state. I'll say Georgia at 2, Florida at 3, Cali at 4, and then what was the other school you said, or what other state?
I'll just throw in Ohio just for
Ohio
fun.
at 5. Ohio at 5.
Yeah, he threw in Ohio.
They don't really,
when you come
like,
to campus, I'm trying to have you having some smoke where you're gonna have to go ahead and lay somebody down on the practice field.
nah, like because like Ohio athletes, like they're just not as developed as Texas athletes. Like what was like the last big name y'all heard out like Ohio for real?
Trey McNutt, Aaron Scott, Bryce West, Sincere Johnson, Albert Rock Hill.
I think he's talking about
O-line.
Yeah, okay, so the most recent Ohio player to go to the NFL, right?
Paris.
Paris Johnson, pretty darn big offensive tackle name. Paris Johnson, correct?
Yeah.
Felix? Yeah, so, but I get what you're saying, though, totally.
Yeah.
We aren't going to get into that, but we love Ohio, obviously.
Yeah, we didn't mean to go that deep.
We're also hip to the game, man. Texas has a lot of talent.
For sure.
Florida does as well. All those states do. Ohio, I don't think gets near enough credit. I don't think people are really understanding of the talent that's here. But anyway, man, obviously you're in high school now, okay? Yeah. And you're getting into that moment, man, where you are now labeled a 5-star offensive tackle, meaning I don't know how many offers you have. What, you got 40-some offers now?
Yeah, I have 48 right now.
I figured, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty much dang near every single Division I, college football team would take your commitment right now. But when did this start for you, man? When did you get your first offer, and who was it?
My first offer was in November 23rd of 2023. It was actually from Baylor with Coach Mateos. He's out at Arkansas, but Coach Mateos was the first person to reach out and give me an offer. And then from there, like my second one was like Texas Tech. My third one was like SMU. And after like the third one, it just really blew up.
Yeah, those are some pretty big starters to start with
Yeah.
right off the bat, to be honest with you. Arkansas, SMU, like you didn't really start with Division 3, Division 2 offers. They're coming right out swinging on you, but
Yes, sir.
totally understandable, man. You're very talented. Obviously have a really good head on your shoulders, man, for being as young as you are. And, you sound very mature and in your faith and in your, ideas and your walk that you're going right now, man. So I love hearing how focused you are with what you got going on in your life. But so what's it like, man, being recruited by all these coaches, getting all these text messages, man, and all that stuff? What's that like on a daily basis, dude? Do you ever just turn your phone off? Do you respond to every single coach, or you just got to be honest with some of these coaches and be like, hey, I appreciate the text message, but now's not you're not in the race? Or where are you at with that, man? How is that handling all this pressure right now?
I'll say at the beginning it was like really fun getting recruited, just like be able to talk to coaches, building a relationship. But now, like, since it's a lot more of a serious time of recruitment, since 26 classes like now like officially up and like we're on the spotlight, I'll say just nowadays it's like a lot more tedious and annoying. So I respond to every single customer's like coming down and like just texting me and like calling me. But I try to respond to every single one. But if I don't, I respond to them the next morning. But like soon enough, I'm gonna drop my top school, so like I say it's gonna quiet down soon, or not be as much.
Yeah, for sure. So we got a question from the chat. Lunatic Fringe just kind of asked the question there. The Ohio State fan base, I'm sure you're aware, we're pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Ohio State has the biggest fan base in the world, so we get pretty crazy from time to time. And somebody in national media called us the Lunatic Fringe one time, so somebody changed the name to Lunatic Fringe. I love it, man. But he wants to know, what's the hardest part of this recruiting process for you?
I'll say the hardest part of the recruiting process for me so far is just being able to like reject some like coaches, like saying no, especially at like especially at my age and how young I am, and like me not wanting to come off as me not trying to come off as a certain way to a coach. And like, because at the end of the day, like even when you say no to a coach, you never know like what job they're gonna end up at next. So like just being able to say no, but like saying no in a respectful way to the point where like you're not burning bridges with anyone.
Yeah,
I'll say that's a hard.
Yeah, 100%. Mello, you got any questions?
Nope, but one of our fans said no Oregon and no the scum.
Yeah, so getting all this attention right now, man, and I totally understand not wanting to burn bridges. Very smart. College football has changed, man, with the transfer portal and NIL and the whole 9 yards. The whole recruiting game, it is very different now. But so I'm going to get into Ohio State a little bit, but let me ask you, man, what do you think about this year's run? What Ohio State did, their season, the way their offensive line performed, didn't win the national title, man. What's your thoughts, man?
I feel like the run was great. I mean, what Jeremiah Smith did, what Coach Fryer did with the offensive line, what Coach Chip Kelly did with the the whole entire offense. I feel like it was just a great run, and like for all the pieces to add up, because like I seen what they were building like when I came down Columbus in the summer. So like for me to see like how they finished out the season, it was like a great experience for me to watch, and like for me to know that like that team that was recruiting me.
So you said you came in the summer. What were your thoughts when you were watching them practice and go through their drills and their routine? What was
actually, when I came down in the summer, I came down for like a camp.
Okay.
So when I came down in the camp, it was nice seeing Coach Fry seeing like how he is, because like most coaches, like a lot of coaches, especially at like Big Ten, SEC schools, are a lot of like screamers and a lot of like, but he was more of like a laid back coach, taking his time, like putting me through the drills and like actually taking his time, like really trying to coach me and develop me like for the short amount of time he was there. And I'll just say like it was a great experience seeing like Columbus, the city, like it's beautiful, and then not only that, like the campus.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. Before I get in my next question, man, just give me you keep it real with us and tell us what are you looking for out of a school, man? What's the most important thing? I know a lot of kids will say relationships with coaches, and if that's your answer, what does that mean? Tell us what that means.
I'll say like the most important three things. Like this is the three things I tell everyone is education. Like what school? Cause I'm gonna have a business degree, so I'll say like
Nice.
what school has like the best business major, and then not only that, just like what school can like just help me build more connections like in after football. And I'll say another thing is a relationship with coaching staff, like development, like in my position. And I'll say what like relationships mean to me is just that like a coach I can rely on the field and off the field to a point where like it's not football 24/7. Like I can call you off the field and we can just talk about life and like someone like I can use as a mentor in life, not only just football.
Yeah. Amen. Beautiful
But
answer,
to let
man.
you know, the Fisher College of Business at Ohio State is a top 30 college. So if you're trying to get your MBA, that might be a good spot for you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Felix. So obviously you said you like the way that Coach Fry coached, and obviously you see the news about when a team wins a national title, their coaches are pretty sought after. We lost Coach Fry, we lost Chip Kelly, we lost our defensive coordinator. What's your thoughts there, man? When you see a team do that, like you just wait and see who they hire? Or where are you at with that?
I say like I say well Ohio State and like what Coach Fry leaving. I mean, it wasn't really that big of a shock to me because Coach Fry, like the day before he left that Friday, he was actually at my school. We were like talking and like we really had a whole entire conversation. And then that Saturday morning, the whole entire offensive staff called me. So it was like I really didn't have any like I trust in Ryan Day. I trust in what he's doing with the program. So I didn't really have any doubt in my mind that he's going to hire someone that knows what he's doing and knows how to develop me as an offensive lineman. So there wasn't really like any worries in my mind.
No, that's cool, man. Yeah, we say that a lot as fans, man. Ryan Day earned our trust this year. He won a national title, kept his team focused, and they were down in the dumps a few times, lost a couple games, and still came out on top. So give us your thoughts on Tyler Bowen, man. I saw another interview that you had. You had a couple nice things to say about him, but that's who Ohio State went out and got, man. They got Tyler Bowen, the offensive coordinator from Virginia Tech. So where do you stand there, man? You've been in contact with him. Has he contacted you? And what's your thoughts on that hire?
Tyler Brown, he's a great person. From the FaceTime call I just had with him, like probably an hour ago, and then not only that, just like the messages, because I think I was probably one of the first people he reached out to, not probably if the first person he reached out to, and just like saying that means a lot to me, knowing that like I'm a top priority for him, and just like from the speaks and the talks like we've been having, like even though he just got to the job 2 days ago, like officially enrolled in the Ohio State staff and like with the team, like he's shown me that I'm like a top priority, probably the number one priority for offensive line at Ohio State.
Yeah, I like it. Like I said earlier, man, I watched your film. You are personally my number one tackle in the class of 2026. I think you're going to be an absolute beast in there. But I don't want to skip over that, chat. He said a couple things in there I want to point out. He said that the entire offensive staff contacted him when Coach Fry left. Is that correct, Felix?
Yes, sir.
How'd that make you feel, dude? That's wild, dude. We got a lot of coaches.
It was definitely a crazy experience. Because literally that morning, like as soon as the news hit on Saturday morning, Coach Hartline hit my line. Coach Chip Kelly before he left, he hit my line.
Dang.
Coach Lachlan hit my line. Coach Key hit my line. Like the assistant coaches hit my line. Like all of them hit my line. And me and Coach Lachlan, I already been talking to him since he was like at Oregon and before he left to Ohio State. So like he hit my line, and then like the whole entire staff just flooded my DMs and stuff.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool, man. It's nice to hear that. That you got a relationship with Tyler and he's reaching out to you like that, man. I've always heard that, Tyler actually builds real relationships with kids and knows how to communicate with them and stuff. So we're excited, that he's a coach in the Buckeye offensive line and it's going to help out with play calling a little bit too. So it's an exciting thing over here, man. So what you looking at as far as decision time? You said you're narrowing down your schools a little bit. You're about to drop. Do you have any idea? If this was a perfect world, man, when would you pick your school?
Probably sometime after I finish all my OVs in the summer, and then after the summer OVs, like probably around probably August before school starts, or like July, like late July. I'll
Gotcha.
probably have a commitment date. But if that doesn't work out, sometimes like no later than like halfway through my senior season.
Yeah. Now, the last thing I want to do is steal any attention or joy from you dropping your top schools. But if you want to skip this question, by all means, just say skip. We'll move on. But where would Ohio State stand right now, right? I know there's a long way to go in this process, a lot of decisions to be made, a lot more information to gather. But where's Ohio State stand in your book, man?
I'd say Ohio State stands number 2, like out of all my schools that are recruiting me right now. And that's just like the relationships I built so far with Coach Fry. And then not only that, just like with the offensive staff. Like they most definitely stand number 2 on my list.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
So who do they have to leapfrog to be number 1, if you don't mind me asking?
Right now, UT.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one, man. You right there, dude. So I'm sure them coaches visit you all the time, the whole 9 yards. So that's the thing about recruiting, man. You know, it goes clear down to the end of the wire, man. Well, we're going to wrap up here, man. Mello, you got any final thoughts, final questions for Felix?
We hope that you're in that scarlet and gray. Hope to see you soon. Either way, we're going to be rooting for you and following your path.
Yes, sir.
And just keep staying focused in high school. Push the girls to the side for now. And get those grades. Kill it on the basketball court. Go bring home the state championship with your team, and then enjoy the rest of high school.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I might have to hit you up on that NCAA, and maybe we'll play a game or two, something like that.
You
can get a pretty easy win because I'm not the best, but I've won a couple national titles for sure. But I cheat. So if I start losing the game, I don't know if you know you can do this or not. If you start losing the game, you can just restart it, and it doesn't count as a loss or anything. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know that.
You do it too. Busted. Well, hey, dude. It's been an awesome interview, man. We'd love to get you back on here sometime down the future. You know what I mean? And get a update with you, dude. I'm so excited to see wherever it is that you choose. Obviously, I'm biased. Love to see you be a Buckeye, but wherever is the right fit for you, that's where I want you to go. And would love to see you succeed in your career. We appreciate you coming on here, brother. You got any final thoughts, final words for Buckeye Nation?
No, sir.
All righty. Well, hey, Felix, we appreciate you. We're going to get an IO from you if I say OH.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All righty. Go Buckeyes. OH.
IO.
Take care, Felix.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, the kids that always respond to us and come on here and do interviews, I feel like we're like the luckiest people ever. They're always so mature. He talked about his faith, just a smart, good head on his shoulders. I just was not like that when I was 16, bro.
Nah. No.
Well, I wonder where I went wrong, dude.
I'm not going to tell anybody how I was like at 16.
Dude, I'll tell
That's
you what,
for me
bro.
to know and God, and that's it.
Yeah, Felix, I would absolutely love to be a Buckeye. I don't know why, man. I got that sneaking suspicion. That's my only prediction I put in. That was a Buckeye we just talked to right there. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we'll move on. There's been some news dropped today, and everybody said it in the chat already, but Sam William Dixon pulled his name officially out of the portal today. So excited to see that. I think that speaks volumes towards the culture that Ryan Day has built. Not only that, but also it speaks to how these players think about the coaching changes that he made. Mm-hmm. Because if Sam didn't like some of these coaches that were hired, I doubt he pulls his name, out of the portal. So what's your thoughts?
I think it's partially that, but I mostly think that Coach Locke just showed him a pathway to the field. That running back room is very crowded. So last year it wasn't as crowded, but if you think about it, we had 3 running backs from the 25 class. We got a transfer portal running back, and now we have Sam Williams Dixon still here and James Peoples. So I think a lot of it is, are you going to utilize me on the field? He didn't see a lot of field time his freshman year, but I mean, obviously we're going to ride Trey and Q. They're the 2 best running backs combo in the country. They're going to leave and go to the NFL, so they need those carries and those reps. And then James Peoples was just ahead of him in the depth chart.
Yeah.
So I think that's mostly what it was about, personally.
This is a good question, man. Since Sam entered the portal and we won the Natty, does he get a ring? Yes or no? My thing is if you were not on the roster, if you were not on the roster in a Buckeye when we played the national title game, no, you don't get a ring. No, but
was he?
But,
did he actually leave? Was he still practicing? Because some people enter the portal and still were practicing. There's players. Mitchell Melton played in the national championship game. So I mean,
but yeah, he stayed.
Your name's in the portal doesn't mean you left the actual team and all team activities. So
that's why I said if your name's still on the roster, his name wasn't on the roster anymore. He entered the portal and left the team. Mitchell Melton,
did he?
Yeah, entered the portal but stayed on the roster. At least that's what I was told. But
well, Mitchell Melton definitely had to be on the roster to play.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I mean. So, yeah, a couple other big-time changes, man. We kind of knew the Matt P thing was coming, but Matt Patricia been hired as a defensive coordinator. Coach Walt promoted to the, defensive run game coordinator, whatever, and Matt G, the co-defensive pass game coordinator. So I'm stoked about it. I'm thrilled, man. Let me just get your initial reaction to everything that went on.
Matt P. We hired the right guy, personally. OG Walt approves. Matty G approves. Matty G is going to be the passing game coordinator, and OG Walt, I believe, is the run game coordinator. So we're going to lock it up. This defense is going to be nasty. I know people think that is not. I'm telling you, just watch. People can doubt all they want. Some of these players on that D line I've been watching since high school, they're going to be nasty. And yeah. I can tell you right now, LJ thinks they're going to be nasty. So there's that.
Yeah, I was told LJ's coming back. There's still people out there questioning that. But I was told that the same time I was told that every single staff member at Ohio State was on board with hiring Matt P as the defensive coordinator. A lot of people keep bringing up this culture thing and his attitude and whatnot, man. I mean, the more information we learn about Jim Knowles, the more we learn that he caused quite a ruckus in the room with coaches and with players. And yep. Ryan Day handled that. So what it comes down to is Ryan Day's the head coach. The culture starts at the top man, right? Just like a business, just like any organization, the culture is going to start from the top and leak its way down. So, if Matt P is not going to be able to go in there and change the culture and do whatever he wants to do, he's going to have to listen to Ryan Day, or Ryan Day is going to handle it. Ryan Day showed us how many times that he will make a move. He will make somebody change things up. He did it this year a couple different times. So that's all there is to that. I'm not worried about the culture thing at all. If you don't think Ryan Day vetted the crap out of that, Tim Walton and Matty G were in on one of the interviews, is what I was told, and everything was clearly laid out and talked about. So the fact of the matter is that when it comes to play calling, the dude has won 2 Super Bowls, a defensive coordinator. And even after the Lions head coaching gig, he was still being hired by NFL coaches. And I know that he took some time off, but several big-time coaches have taken a year off or 2 years off, and that's a good thing. It can be a very good thing. I think it is. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, I'm going to just flat out say Matt P is an upgrade to our last DC. It's just plain and simple. That's just really a fact. If you don't believe me, go watch The Truth Teller, a.k.a. Denzel Burke. He did a interview last night on the Believe podcast, and you could go find out what was going on. He doesn't hold back. He might say some names indirectly, but you could get to the gist of what he was talking about. So I say go watch that, and you'll be very happy with the new hire. And that would overpay for the other DC, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, I love the hire. Beautiful defensive mind to come in here and gives Ryan Day the opportunity to step away from the defensive side and help his brand new offensive coordinator if he needs help. So, I love the hire. I'm not worried one whit about the culture thing. Ryan Day is the man in charge of that. He will not allow somebody to come in and dictate how the culture of the coaching staff or the players is. He's going to dictate that. He's the man in charge, dude. He will get him up out of there fast if pride starts to get in the way or something like that. But Matt P is obsessed with football. The dude loves football. So time off, he's just been sitting there studying the game, dude. Watched all the college playoffs, watched the games. I mean, the dude is a football junkie. So He is not rusty. Yeah. There's not going to be any rust to knock off, all that. He's had some time to clear his mind. Dude lost 100 pounds. The dude did a physical transformation. You know, physical transformation first starts with the mental transformation. So maybe that old Matt P we've been hearing about as far as a couple players and coaches not liking him, maybe he's not the same person anymore. Even though I don't put a lot of weight in hearing that players didn't like him or coaches didn't like him. I mean, not everybody likes, newsflash, not everybody likes everybody. I don't know if you do that or not, but,
and you know what the biggest thing that people should take from the fact that he lost all that weight? I don't care if he used Ozempic, if that's what you say, as long as it wasn't surgery, because even if you're taking drugs, whether that be steroids, Ozempic, whatever it is, you still have to put in the work, you still have to put in the grind, and in order to do that, you still have to change up your diet, and all that means is you have to have discipline. So if he has discipline to lose 100 pounds, he definitely has discipline to study film, break it down, put his players in the right position, not overcomplicate things, but to make it overly complicated for the coaching staff and the quarterback on the other side of the ball. So we're in great hands, honestly. That's all I can say about that. And I think everybody will see it come to bear come August 30th.
Yeah. Shout out Buckeye Scoop, man. On fire with all these hires going on, dude. They've been drilling it, man.
They've been on fire since forever.
I know, dude.
When's the last time they haven't? I know people like to poo-poo on Buckeye Scoop, but I mean, they're batting better than everybody. Literally. Yeah. Everybody.
It's unfortunate because most people poo-poo on them for something that happened like 10 years ago. It's like, holy crap, dude. All right, let me watch the footage of your life for the past 10 years. Right. I bet you I can find something that to really hold on to and keep bringing up and posting on the internet over and over again, the whole 9 yards. Let it go, man. Move on. You're not perfect either. But anyway, so Tim Walton was promoted to the defensive run game coordinator. Yes, absolutely. I love it, dude. It keeps him involved, keeps him engaged, gives him that promotion, gives him that pay bump. Yep. Matty G, pass game, all those things help them individually. They help with recruiting. When now Tim Walton can go on the road and say, yo, look, I'm the DB coach. I'm also a co-defensive coordinator. Matt G can say the same thing. And now we don't know the level. So if I had to guess, this defense this year is going to be a big-time team experience. Yeah. There's Matt G, Coach Walt, and Matt P are going to be involved very heavily in the it's not just going to be Matt P laying a game plan on the table saying this is what it is. No way. I think it's going to be because Tim Walt and Matt G, they know these players. They know the skill set of these players. And Larry Johnson's going to be involved in it. So I guarantee you that's how that conversation went. Ryan Day said, look, Matt P, I just need somebody to come in and run our system that we have in place and throw in some curveballs every once in a while, which he is famous for, I might add. So I'm very excited to see what he can do with C.J. Hicks, Arvell Reese, the whole 9 yards. And a little nugget for you that I heard, food for thought, with the players that we have coming in at linebacker, Riley Pettijohn, Tarvos Alford, it's a very, very loaded room. The coaching staff is very excited, so much excited that they're maybe looking at moving some of these players around to different positions. Arvell Reese to defensive end, possibly. Different moves like that because of Riley Pettijohn and Tarvos Alford coming in and how skilled they are. But that's not some concrete thing. I just wanted some food for thought for people. Arvell Reese is a pretty big dude. Got a very good football player. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. Yeah.
When you think about this, there's so many different things they could do because of the plethora of talent that we have and the diversity of talent that we have. They could do so many things. I just want to see how freaky it's going to get.
I know.
Dude, legitimately a genius.
Yeah, I know. And the other thing is not only this would be good for our defense, but it's good for our coaching staff to learn from Matt P. I mean, the dude coached with one of the best coaches in football, Bill Belichick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he was the defensive coordinator. So you toss this whole giving Bill Belichick the credit for the defense. I know he's a defensive mind, but dude, bro, you don't win 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator by letting the head coach run the defense. Nah, man, dude. Matt P is an absolute genius. He's got some I think he can like build satellites too while he's at it, probably for a hobby. So
send the rocket to space. Actually, he could probably go ask Elon Musk if he could be his VP.
Yeah. So I don't think I have anything else, man. I can't. There was one other thing I wanted to bring up, but I honestly I forget what it was.
Oh, well, yeah. Was it about the D line or no?
Nope. I said what I wanted to say there. I think that was it. It might have been something in recruiting, but I forget. But luckily, man, this isn't our last show. So
right. Yeah.
Always come back on and say
if you remember, just write it down. That's all.
If I remember, I'll come back on live real fast for like 2 minutes to let everybody know. No, just joking, dude. Oh, dude, this is what it was, Donald. Thank you. I did forget. Yo, Donald, Garrett Rochbook, absolute. I mean, amazing people, dude. Hooked me up with one of my most prized possessions that I own. Just give me 1 second here. I ordered me a case for it already on Amazon. Boom, son.
JJ.
You see that? Look at his autograph, though.
Bro, I can't believe they're still teaching cursive down there. I had to teach my kids that because they stopped teaching it in school.
Yeah, that's that certified sticker right there. I'm stoked, bro.
Oh, yeah, you never wearing that one.
Nah, bro. It's funny because I have the same exact jersey right there. That's the one I wore to all the games and stuff. So I'm going to take that down, hang that one up. And that Heather Smith jersey, that's my lucky game jersey. That will be worn every single game the rest of the time JJ's here. So
I like it.
Pump, dude. Got a good little collection going. Got Woody Hayes, Eddie George, CJ Stroud. So here we go. Just another hobby to dump a bunch of money into. Why not, dude? Why not?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people say, don't buy nice things because you can't take them with them. You can't take them with you in the grave. Well, I got news for you, folks. I can take these in there. I can get buried with this stuff.
But at the same time, you can't take the money in the grave with you either. So
yeah, you know
might
what I'm
well
saying?
enjoy it.
Spin that thing, son.
Yeah.
But yo, chat, we appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing, showing up every single night for us. Couldn't ask for a better group of people to be in our chat and listen to us and put up with our nonsense and the whole 9 yards, man. We're having a heck of a time here on Buckeye Boys. It's because of you guys. So seriously, I mean that with the bottom of my heart. You guys you make me want to come on this show every night and talk and engage with Bello and everybody else, the whole Buckeye Boys family, TG, Sean, Tony, all you guys, man. This has been a huge blessing for me. I look forward to it. I'm excited to see what the future holds, what God has in store for the Buckeye Boys channel, man. Hopefully we'll be on the sidelines of some Buckeye games one day, going live.
Question.
Okay.
Are you selling those on the boat, or like what's the deal? You just have them for us
he's
to look at?
He's gonna raffle them up, and what he's gonna do is convince Devin to buy $200 worth of raffle tickets, like I did last time, and not win crap. Dennis, come on, man, you gotta hook a homie up, dude. I mean, I bought a bunch of tickets and I never won nothing, dude. You need to rig it. I'll give you money on the side. I'll also buy tickets, and you just keep my ticket in your hand, pull it out, and say, Devin, wah. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Dennis. And we just won't tell anybody. Nobody's ever going to know, dude. I'll delete this episode. No proof. We'll be
it's
good.
Already out there. It's too late. Now he definitely can't win. You got to make sure he doesn't win now. He rigged it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Green for the $1.99 meet and greet, fellas. Meet and greet.
Yeah, that'd be a difficult one, man. We're in Florida and Georgia, dude. If we got so good, it's a good question. How many people in this chat are from Florida and Georgia? I don't think it's much. So anybody, if you guys want to make
Carolina, I could drive there.
Yeah, I mean, I would drive too. But one of these days, I'm going to be getting down there to Ohio. If you're a regular watcher on this channel, you know why I don't come to Ohio, but that will get resolved one day. So, it's not a big deal.
We got somebody from Florida in the chat. What part of Florida? Homie?
Yeah, I knew he was. Yeah.
Okay, Kissimmee.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I've been to Kissimmee, down near Orlando there.
Yep.
So, yo, check it out. Anybody in this chat, man, if you ever come towards Tallahassee or come to Georgia, you best be reaching out to us because we will beat up with you. I'll drive 3-4 hours to meet up with somebody in this chat. Say what's up, man. Mike Green,
I'm in
$1.99.
Florida all the time, everywhere.
Yeah.
That's part of my daughter's conference. So I'm in
Yeah.
Tampa. I go to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, and then anywhere else is just whatever. It's not.
Yeah, Mike Green, $1.99. I'm in Palm Coast by Daytona. Heck yeah. Yeah, Donald's in Florida too. Donald for sure, man. We got a
Where's
text.
Donald
And
at?
Donald, where do you live, man? Here in Florida? Are you out towards the Miami area? He's told me a couple times. I forget.
Or was it Tampa?
I don't know. That sounds. If it's Tampa, I've been to Tampa 100 times, man. So the owner of what's that steakhouse in Columbus? All the recruits go to. They got like the Jim Tressel steak and all that stuff, man. I forget what it's called. Tampa. Donald, dude, that's my favorite place in Florida. I have a timeshare in Tampa, dude. I go there 10 times a year. I'm there all the time, dude. Sweet Sage is my favorite restaurant. It's owned by the guy that owns Hyde Park. That's correct. It's owned by the guy that owns Hyde Park. He's going to be coming on the show. He actually sponsors the show, so I got to put something up for that. But so he's really cool, man. Mike Green, another $1.99. My fiance is high up at the Hilton, 50%. Oh, dang, Mike, bro.
Hey, Mike, I need that hookup. We got to get your contact info. Nah, straight up. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, me neither, dude. You know how many hotels I get all
Mike,
the time?
you got to email us. We got to get your contact info.
Yo, Craig says he's in Florida too, man.
What part?
Wait, is he though? Is that why he said I hear? Or like in the chat, I hear?
I don't know.
Oh, no, he said I hear. What's he mean? He hears it or he's here? Craig, you got to clear this up, man. I'm tripping, dude. Let's wait for it. Hey, man. Dude.
Hold up. I gotta address this. Bro, this is a true story. You can ask Dev.
Yeah.
When I first saw Dev and finally we talked, I thought Dev was like Spanish. I didn't think he was white at all. He told me he was white, and I was like, "Oh, I feel like an idiot. I thought he was Spanish the whole time."
Yeah, dude. I ain't been out much. You know what I mean? I'm actually going camping this weekend. I'm taking the little ones camping with my brother and his wife. So we're going to be primitive camping in a tent. Cujo's coming. He's got to be stoked. He's going to be a little hellion, dude. I know he is. But yeah, man, it's been the colder time here in Florida, but when it's shirt off weather in Florida, I get pretty darn dark. I get pretty tan. So for sure.
Craig is in Tampa.
Yeah, he's in Tampa too. Yeah, Craig, we got to meet up, man. Next time. That's where. So Donald, that's where one of my friends lives. And
My
I go
cousin
see all
lives in
the time.
Tampa too.
Yeah,
Not too far from IMG.
yeah, for sure. Alrighty. Well, that'll do it.
Hold
chat.
on, I got to ask this one last question. Sean, what part of Georgia are you in? We could do a little mini meetup.
I know. He
Alpharetta. Man, I'm in Gwinnett. I'm in Lawrenceville, baby.
Studley
Craig
wants me
used
to
to
have
live in
a
Alpharetta.
Spanish accent. I can't really talk too much Spanish. Tú eres lo que yo necesito. Chichis. I can say chichis.
Hold on, I know Edgy's been teaching you Spanish, bro. You got to learn it.
Yeah, I know some of it. Mike Green, $4.99. The catch, Mello. I have to check you in. But friends and family, though, I got you. Laugh out loud. I'll shoot my contact.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. All righty, folks. Well, we appreciate the heck out of you. Fun show, man. We'll catch you next time, dude. Today's Wednesday, right? So I won't be on this weekend at all. We'll have our Sunday show. The BBZ Mafia will be tomorrow. They'll do a show.
Friday, we'll drop a pre-recorded for
Fridays.
Mika
Yeah.
recruiting show. Sunday, I won't be back in town until Tuesday, bro.
That's cool. I'll hop on here and do something, so we'll get it figured out. But all right, chat. Appreciate the heck out of you guys. On that note, go Buckeyes. OH.
Ayo.